Imagine two neighboring countries with centuries of intertwined history where ancient empires clashed, colonial powers redrew borders, and sacred temples became symbols of national pride. Thailand and Cambodia, two nations with rich cultures, have also shared a long legacy of rivalry and conflict. From the fall of Angkor to the border disputes of the 21st century, their story is filled with battles, shifting alliances, and moments that shape Southeast Asia's map. In this video, we'll uncover the dramatic history behind the wars and tensions between Thailand and Cambodia, exploring how ancient rivalries still echo in modern times. Stay tuned, because this is not just a story of war, it's a story of survival, identity, and the power of history to shape the present. Long before modern borders were drawn, the lands of present-day Thailand and Cambodia were dominated by powerful kingdoms. The Khmer Empire, centered in Angkor, was a cultural and military giant from the 9th to the 15th century, exerting influence over much of Southeast Asia, including territories that now belong to Thailand. However, the rise of Siamese states like Sukhothai and later Ayutthaya challenged Khmer dominance. These two powers frequently clashed for control over trade routes, fertile lands, and strategic cities. The rivalry reached its peak when the Siamese Ayutthaya kingdom launched a decisive campaign against Angkor, sacking the city in 1431. This event marked the decline of the Khmer Empire and allowed the Siamese to expand their influence. Yet, Cambodia, though weakened, persisted as a kingdom, often caught between Thai and Vietnamese ambitions, setting the stage for centuries of conflict and shifting alliances. Following the fall of Angkor, Cambodia entered a turbulent era where it became a pawn in the power struggles of larger neighbors. The Ayutthaya Kingdom of Siam repeatedly launched invasions into Cambodian territory during the 15th to 17th centuries, aiming to assert dominance and control key regions. Cambodian rulers were often forced to pay tribute or accept Siamese overlordship, while internal instability left the kingdom vulnerable to external pressures. At times, Cambodian kings sought alliances with Vietnam to counter Siamese aggression, which further complicated regional dynamics. Despite occasional victories, Cambodia remained in a weakened state, oscillating between periods of independence and vassalage. These continuous wars not only reshaped borders but also left deep cultural and political scars, influencing the balance of power in Southeast Asia for generations. In the 19th century, the power dynamics between Thailand and Cambodia shifted dramatically with the arrival of European colonial powers. Cambodia, weakened by centuries of conflict, fell under French protection in 1863, becoming part of French Indochina. This move limited Siam's long-standing influence over Cambodian affairs and set the stage for new tensions. France, seeking to expand its colonial holdings, clashed with Siam during the Franco-Siamese War of 1893. The conflict ended with Siam ceding large territories, including parts of Laos and regions in western Cambodia, to French control. This loss not only altered the borders, but also reduced Siam's status as a regional power. For Cambodia, French rule provided a temporary shield against Siamese dominance, yet it also meant trading one form of control for another. The colonial period thus redefined the geopolitical landscape of Southeast Asia, embedding border disputes that would resurface in later centuries. During World War II, the struggle between Thailand and Cambodia took on a new dimension as global conflict reached Southeast Asia. In 1940, Thailand, under the leadership of Prime Minister Preah Vihear Temple, allied itself with Japan and sought to reclaim territories it had lost to French Indochina decades earlier. Taking advantage of France's weakened position under the Vichy regime, Thailand launched the Franco-Thai War. Thai forces quickly occupied Battambang, Siem Reap, and other parts of western Cambodia, regaining lands they considered historically theirs. Japan mediated the conflict, resulting in a treaty that forced Vichy France to cede these areas to Thailand in 1941. However, the victory was short-lived. After Japan's defeat and the end of the war, the territories were returned to Cambodia, now under French control once again. This brief period of shifting borders reinforced nationalist sentiments on both sides and left lingering disputes that would continue to influence Thai-Cambodian relations. After Cambodia gained independence from France in 1953, old territorial tensions with Thailand resurfaced. The border between the two countries had never been clearly demarcated, and several areas became sources of dispute. One of the most contentious issues was the ownership of the ancient Preah Vihear Temple, located on a cliff along the border. In 1962, the International Court of Justice ruled that the temple belonged to Cambodia, a decision that Thailand reluctantly accepted, but which left unresolved disagreements over the surrounding territory. During the Cold War, relations further deteriorated as Thailand backed anti-communist forces and at times supported Cambodian factions opposed to the Vietnamese-backed government in Phnom Penh. Skirmishes and cross-border incidents were common, as both countries used the rugged frontier to their advantage. These disputes, rooted in historical grievances and colonial-era maps, continued to fuel mistrust between the two nations, ensuring that the border question remained a flashpoint well into the late 20th century. During the Cold War, the Thai-Cambodian border became a volatile front shaped by regional conflicts and global rivalries. After the rise of the Khmer Rouge in the 1970s, Cambodia descended into chaos, and Thailand aligned with the United States, opposed the spread of communism. When Vietnam invaded Cambodia in 1978 to oust the Khmer Rouge, Thailand became a critical base for anti-Vietnamese resistance, including remnants of Khmer Rouge forces. The Thai military engaged in frequent border clashes with Vietnamese troops stationed in Cambodia, and refugee camps along the frontier became both humanitarian zones and sites of insurgent activity. Throughout the 1980s, tensions remained high, with skirmishes, artillery exchanges, and occasional incursions across the border. Although open warfare never broke out between Thailand and Vietnam-backed Cambodia, the border remained militarized, and the conflict drew in international players, such as China and the United States. It was only after Vietnam's withdrawal in 1989 and the signing of peace agreements in the early 1990s that the region began to stabilize, paving the way for improved, though still fragile, Thai-Cambodian relations. In the early 21st century, tensions between Thailand and Cambodia reignited over territorial claims near the Preah Vihear Temple, despite the International Court of Justice's earlier ruling. The dispute flared up in 2008 when the temple was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site under Cambodia's name, a move that sparked nationalist outrage in Thailand. Both sides increased their military presence in the area, leading to a series of armed clashes between 2008 and 2011. These confrontations involved artillery exchanges, small-scale battles, and civilian evacuations, resulting in several deaths and heightened diplomatic strain. The fighting drew international concern, prompting ASEAN to step in as a mediator. Although temporary ceasefires were reached, the underlying border disagreements persisted. In 2013, the International Court of Justice reaffirmed Cambodia's sovereignty over the temple and its immediate surroundings, easing tensions, but not completely resolving the dispute. The clashes of this period demonstrated how historical grievances and nationalist sentiments could still trigger violence, even in an era of economic cooperation and regional integration. In May 2025, violence flared when a land skirmish at the Cambodia-Thailand border led to the death of a Cambodian soldier. Both sides accused each other of initiating hostilities, escalating tensions over hundreds of kilometers of contested frontier land near Preah Vihear Temple and other heritage sites. Cambodia filed formal legal complaints with the International Court of Justice over 4 disputed areas, including Tamon Tom, Tamon Tok, Takrabai, and Mumbai, while Thailand insisted on resolving the dispute through bilateral mechanisms, such as the Joint Boundary Commission. By June 2025, diplomatic relations had deteriorated sharply. Thailand imposed stricter border controls, reduced visa validity for Cambodian nationals, and Cambodia banned imports of Thai fuel, fruit, and media content. On July 23, a Thai landmine explosion injured 5 soldiers, including one who lost a leg, prompting Thailand to accuse Cambodia of planting banned anti-personnel mines. Cambodia denied the allegations. On July 24, full-scale clashes broke out near Prasat Tamuan Tom and Tamon Tom temples. Both sides deployed artillery, BM-21 rockets, F-16 airstrikes, and armored units. Thailand reported civilian infrastructure, being hit, including a hospital and gas station, while Cambodia accused Thailand of large-scale aggression. The conflict marked the deadliest flare-up in over a decade. More than 30 soldiers and civilians had died, and over 140,000 civilians were displaced on both sides. On the political front, Thailand underwent internal turmoil. Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra was suspended following a leaked phone call with former Cambodian leader Hun Sen, triggering her coalition government's collapse and further entrenching military dominance in Bangkok. Diplomatic ties have plunged to historic lows. Both countries expelled ambassadors and suspended diplomatic missions. As of July 27, efforts at diplomacy have intensified. ASEAN-led talks were convened in Malaysia, with participation from acting Thai Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet, and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. US President Donald Trump also intervened, pressing both sides to agree to an immediate ceasefire and warning of trade repercussions if hostilities continued. Despite tentative ceasefire agreements, fighting persisted into the fourth day, a sign of the fragility of the situation.